Making Moves zoke sithi ukugxila kumkhakha wezempilo nokuziphilisa. Sivakashela uDokotela Gule osegoli ongumsunguli womtholampilo wangasese.
Wellness was always something I was interested in.
Siphinde siye Empangeni KwaZulu-Natal ukuze phela sithi ukuchitha isikhashane Ejimini Lifestyle.
Amambeza la ekhaya we've got 500 plus.
Bobabili labo somabhizinisi bazovakashela e-studio ukuzoxoxisana ngamabhizinisi abo kanye nokugcwalisa igebhe kwimkhakha yabo. Umkhakha wezempilo nokuziphilisa ukhiqiza amabhiliyoni wamadola mhlaba jikelele. Kulindele ukuthi lezi zinombolo ziqhubeke nokunyuka njengoba kunokwanda okusheshayo kwezifo ezifana nokukhuphala okweqile okubangwa ukudla okunganamsoco kanye nokuphila impilo yobuvila.
I don't eat the right food but I do exercise.
Mohlalo exercise umzimba wakho awusheshi ukhathala.
I think utsuka useng kyamsebenzini kya exercise.
Amalunga amqoka kulomkhakha afana nemithi, umsoco, ezempilo nokuziphilisa, ezobuhle nokuvikela ukuguga kanye nemithi ehlukile.
Ngidla ukudla oku health almost every day.
Ngijima irugby but occasionally.
Into engenza ukuthi ngibe healthy sihambe ekseni siyojima.
Kumele umuntu uhlale uzivocavocile.
Imakethe yaseNingizimu Afrika inemali eningi futhi izwe lethu libalwa kwama-30 emazweni ahamba phambili mhlaba jikelele.
Siyasanda ke isibalo sabantu abafuna ukwazi ngezindlela ezahlukahlukene zokuthi bangazinakekela kanjani ke impilo zabo. Uyabona ke la ngaphandle kabantu abaningi ke njengoba sebefuna ukwazi ukuthi bangazinakekela kanjani futhi ba-improve ke indlela lezi abaphila ngakhona baya kulezi indawo lezi ezokuzilolonga nalapha yana futhi ke kuma wellness facilities la khona ke bezokwazi ukuthola ke izindlela zokuthi bacebiswe kahle ukuthi bangazinakekela kanjani. Uyabona ke sike sathi ukuvakashela somabhizinisi bethu ababili abesimami bona bazakhela indumo ezulu enhle kakhulu kuona lo mkhakha.
Hi, my name is Dr. Gule and I'm the founder and managing director of a health enterprise called Medispace Lifestyle Institute. We do what we call lifestyle management at Medispace, which is taking medicine as an art form and making sure that we inspire you to help prevent chronic diseases and give you a quality of life that you can be proud of 10, 15 years from now. Hello, Gule. I am out here at art jamming with my good friend Grace. As working girls, we hardly ever have time to actually be creative and have some fun. So we're hoping to paint something special. We haven't painted in our lives, eh, Grace?
No, never.
So as
never
friends,
happened.
this is something special that we're sharing together and we look forward to you seeing the end results. Join us.
You're like the Wusa cowboy.
Wusa wellness.
The crazy one.
Actually, I think this is our friendship canvas.
Actually true. And when I started working with Ahang Sichaba, which is an NPO that focuses on raising funds for kids from child-headed households, I met Siri. We're kind of connected. There was no trying hard.
Utsidi udlule egabeni eningana. Kodwa ubekuphawulekile kakhulu ukuthi umntwana enokhaliphi.
Siri was crazy, hey. She was crazy in that even in Lane, where you're forecast, you know, and I found that to be so strange.
Ukhuleke umuntu umntwana nje ofuna ukwazi ngento eningana nje.
I definitely was a very forward child, and it's funny because even the people who know me now in my personal life still say, "Hey, upapile." It's such a common thing people still say about me now.
I don't know, Siri. I don't know.
Akeneliseki impendulo ayibona ukuthi ayimusi indawo. Ngiyacabanga ukuthi into enza ukuthi ke mhlambe egcine nathi noma esebenzile ubudokotela kodwa afuna okungale kobudokotela. Usefuna manje ukuthi athathe lo budokotela abufake ebhizinisini. benamagama amaningana nje sakhula. Papius, bebembiza Oros.
Yes, I know all those nicknames.
Do people know that you're an amazing dancer?
How about just because I've got this degree that everyone thinks makes me a boring person. I love my fun, and this is my party buddy. And we are dance. I would say, yo, we are dance.
Ube papi.
Well, it looks like I'm all done, and Grace, this is not too shabby, my friend. Messy is how we like it. So I'm going to hang this up and remember you by this. And thank you to Art Jamming Gizobuya Food. This was a lot of fun.
Namhlanje ngisesentini eBenmore la khona uzohlangana nosomabhizinisi wethu esizobe sichitha isikhathi naye. Yabona ke lona wesimami udokotela. Aphinde futhi abe usomabhizinisi. Ibhizinisi lakhe libizwa ngokuthiwa iMedispace Lifestyle Institute. Sikhuluma ngezinto ezihlukahlukene ke zomtholampilo. Ake ngene kaphakathi ngixoxisane naye ngizwe ukuthi ibhizinisi lakhe likhuluma ngani. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm here to see Dr. Gule.
Let's see, hey?
Yeah.
Okay, let me take you through.
Okay, cool.
Dr. Gule, hello. His appointment.
Kunyantote.
Ngikhona baba.
Ngikhona.
Siyakwamukela Medispace.
Ngiyabonga.
Can I get you anything to drink?
Coffee would be perfect. Thank you. Ngisacela uchazele umuntu obukele ekhaya ozibuza ukuthi iMedispace yini.
iMedispace ipractice abayifaka kwingxenye yemedicine esibiza ukuthi iwellness. So la ekhaya asibheki ukuthi unemkhuhlane kuphela noma unesifo seBP, senza sure ukuthi sikubheka ngengxenye zakho zokuphila. Senza sure ukuthi impilo yakho mayelana newellness, so izinto oyidlayo, right? Mayelana neexercise yakho, ifitness level yakho.
Mina ke lo siya ngiyafika la ekhaya.
Right.
I'm a new client.
Right.
Ngithi kuwena dokotela ngisacela nje ukuthi nje ungicheck nje ushaye check up ukuthi ngime njani isimo sami sinjani.
Yeah. So the first thing I would do is for 15 minutes ngikhuluma nawe mayelana ne-lifestyle yakho, indlela yakho yokuphila. Sizoqala ngesikali baba.
All right.
Uzogumula ijacket yakho. Ugumule nezicathulo.
All right, okay.
It's ready for you.
All right. Ngusondo nzima ngishilo.
Then ngifuna uzohlala la.
Ngihlale la.
Yeah. So we're going to measure your blood pressure. You're going to keep your arm next to you.
Okay.
Okay, blood pressure yako. It's 126/82, which from a textbook point of view is a blood pressure within normal limits. I'm going to check what we call your fasting bloods. So your sugar and your cholesterol, or what they call your fats. We need to check that.
Yini yakwenza ukuthi decide ukuyivulela, this type of practice eyakho?
E-wellness was always something I was interested in, and we started with this website, and then we kept proceeding. As we found out more information about how prevention models work in the world, it became more and more appealing to me to try a practice as a GP that focused on preventative care.
Kudingeka ngamalini ukuthi yini imali engakanani wayifaka ukuthi wenze konke lokho nako njengamanje?
And it took 2.5 million to establish the first facility of working capital, which stretched us over the first year, which was money well spent from that point of view.
I'm a personal trainer, sports massage therapist, and I specialize in functional training and also a sports conditioning coach. Basically, my responsibilities at Medispace is to make sure that the clients achieve their goals, but the most important thing before any other thing, it's to make sure that they are safe, and also is to make sure that I train them according to their goals.
I heard about Dr. Gule from a former colleague of mine. He used to go to the gym, and now and again he will have a problem with his body getting a bit bulky. So So someone actually told him that if he goes to Dr. Gule, she will be able to help him. Like there was a point where I had a huge beer belly. And but yeah, because she's very strict, and now and again she will phone me, and she will say to me, "I hope you are not drinking beer wherever you are."
Ngiyazi ukuthi at some point, you know, business bayibethile benama hiccups.
Yeah.
I'm up and down.
Yeah.
Now uke wabhekana nawakho la khona bake bathi kwathi kuba khona ukuzamazama komhlaba.
Okukhulu.
Kuwena lokho kwaba affecta kanjani? Ukuthi at some point business alihambi kahle. Ama doubt abakhona. Kuwe, how were those challenges?
I learned to respect that you need to really appreciate the skills before the person when you are doing interviews to get people in your company that are best suited to grow the business.
Why is it important when ukuthi aliqhubekele phambili? Kwaphela unazi iziqu zakho.
Yeah.
Yenze ukuthi kubele ukuthi ngithi ngibuyele phakathi.
Ngiphindele emsebenzini. I'm a big fan of serving people, and I believe we're all here to give something of value. Medicine is a very humbling journey because it teaches you to connect with people at a very vulnerable level.
So are you an entrepreneur or are you a doctor?
I'm not a master of either.
I-private sector idlala iqhaza elikhulu kakhulu futhi nangendlela ayibambisene ngayo nezinye indlela ezikhona-ke la ngaphandle ezomtholampilo futhi kakhulukazi uma kuze kusizeni impilo zabantu. Yabona ngokuqala kanyaka ka-2013 imitholampilo ebikhona-ke la elelakithi-ke South Africa ibibalelwa kumanani acisha afike ku-314. Iningi lawo bewe lana eGoli. Ikona-ke lokho kwenza uDr. Gule ukuthi akholelwe ukuthi lokhu yena akwenzayo lapha eMedispace kubaluleke kakhulu njengoba-ke phela-ke esebenzisa indlela ezihlukile ukuthi anakekele amakhasimende akhe. Usestudio sethu-ke ukusitshela ukuthi-ke yini okwenza lokhu akwenzayo yena kube special.
Well, I've been prepped like a doll. I am ready to go into studio, but I'm really excited to actually meet the coach. I think I'm in a very good place to understand what to do as an entrepreneur going into growing the business.
Dr. Gule.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to Making Moves.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pepsi. I'm looking forward to this process.
So where's Mr. Gule?
Which one?
Yours.
No, my father. I'm not married, so Gule is my maiden name.
Okay.
So the only Mr. Gule in my life is my father.
Do you find guys are like threatened?
No, you know, the funny thing is I don't think it's a conversation about being threatened. I just think that either there's a fit or there isn't.
Okay.
So someone either digs that part of you of being ambitious or they feel that they don't belong in it. I don't know.
Okay.
It's my assumption. It's a pity because I'm very down to earth and I love to love.
Yeah.
So I've had a very interesting, colorful experience in the dating scene.
She's this is a bit personal for business.
I know.
So let's go back to the business.
Where did we go?
So are you an entrepreneur or are you a doctor?
It's such a good question. I'm an entrepreneur at heart who found herself a calling in medicine. So I'm a medical entrepreneur. That's my new repackaged title for myself because the whole heart of creating, innovating is at the center of my business, Medispace. But I cannot be taken out of a consulting room. You'd be killing me. If you say, don't ever touch a patient, just work on the business. And I think it's been part of my journey and conflict as an entrepreneur is wearing both hats and seeing the upside of that, but also seeing the downside because I'm not a master of either. And I'm sharing my time every single day between those two hats.
So you don't have doctor's rooms because my GP has got doctor's rooms.
Sure.
You've got a medical lifestyle center thing.
Yes.
What does that mean?
All right. So in a very practical sense for a consumer, everybody expects to walk into a doctor's room and obviously have questions on symptoms, get examined, get a script and walk out. The difference with the whole lifestyle approach to healthcare is that I'm interested in who Pepsi is as a man in a 24-hour day. I'm interested in the factors that help improve your quality of life and factors that will hinder you from living a healthy life. So I am a lot more detailed as a medical advisor or a medical advocate, helping you connect your own dots, because the best healthcare is self-care from a wellness perspective. So I spend more time with you compared to, I guess, a traditional GP model, and definitely am more invested in seeing you continue to live well. So you'd walk out of an assessment process with someone like me with a lifestyle roadmap, not just the script and I'll see you again whenever you're sick again. I literally take a proactive interest in making sure you stay well.
But does that make business sense?
Yes, it does.
Well, because there are two things. One, you spend more time per patient.
Yes.
And I'm not necessarily paying more to have more time. Okay,
you are.
cool.
So that's the first one.
And then you're getting me healthier, which means I'm less likely
to see me
to
again.
need your services. From a business model, it doesn't really work.
All right, here's one of the things that you need to appreciate about healthcare right now. The whole industry is moving towards preventative medicine. Now, preventive medicine works on a retention model, pretty much like the curative model. You still need to see your medical advisor to keep you healthy. Just different kinds of practitioners are working around your health. Illness is inevitable in all of us. Different kinds of mechanical faults, as I like to call it, when it comes to the human body and how it operates, are going to hit you for the rest of your life. So you're never going to out-need me as a doctor. But how you use me as a doctor is going to change during the course of your life. And what wellness does is it almost preempts a relationship between myself and you. So I see you more often in the year, which doesn't happen with normal GP models. And so in an income point of view, you will actually see me more as a patient who wants to stay healthy than a patient who only comes to see me when you're sick.
So now this 2.5 million that you got to start the business, where did that come from?
It actually came from a commercial bank. I'd knocked for 9 months asking for capital for this business. And eventually one of the enterprise development managers of this bank said, you know what, you're really high risk, but we're going to go for you. Spending it wisely was where the real lesson really came in, because I started off with quite a big team, and I think that was my first humbling point in the business.
Okay. And one of your biggest challenges now from a cash flow perspective is getting people to pay.
Yeah.
So how does that work? I mean, I thought when you see a doctor, it's pay as you go. It is
I don't run a traditional GP practice.
So what happens? How come you give people credit?
So our lifestyle program really runs on two different models. The corporate side of things runs on retainers. So every 30 days, which has been the larger focus for the last 12 months of our income, has been the corporate retainers. And you've got to wait 30 days for someone else to press click, pay Dr. G or pay Medispace. And the biggest thing is being paid on the right cycle. So 30 days ends up being 45 days, ends up being 60 days. Before you know it, and this is apparently a very normal problem in the corporate sector, that these big guns don't always pay the SMME on time, if they're paying any supplier on time. But you've signed an agreement to say, in 30 days, I will get my money. We've really had to buckle down and have contingency funds and really make sure that we can cover all these delays, because the money's there, it's just not in your account yet. And it's very frustrating, whereas the individual, yes, absolutely right, it's a swipe and go exercise, but the individual is not paying the bulk of my income right now, it's the companies.
It's the corporates, okay. I'm going to send you off to chat to somebody else in a short kind of coaching, mentorship to entrepreneurs discussing session. And then I'll catch up with you after.
I can't wait to tell you what he thinks.
Yeah. Dr. Gule is now going for a coaching session. We'll see her later for feedback on how it all went.
I think one of the things that was exciting and humbling was hearing all the different things I told myself are important about my growth and the things that he pointed out. So I'm excited definitely at what the coach is also going to say about me growing.
During the recession, business what kept you going?
It was the purpose of why Besienza this business. And to give up on it. Yeah.
Lifestyle-related issues aseqala ukuba inkinga enkulu kakhulu kuleli lakithi, njengoba ke baye bethi ke asethwalisa ke isindo esikhulu kakhulu uma kuza kulomkhakha lona ke wezomtholampilo kuleli lakithi. Kuthiwa ke la ekhaya abantu abaningi ikakhulukazi ke abantu besimame banenkinga lena yokukhuluphala, ngesingisi baye bethi ke ba obese. uyabona ke abantu babexwayisa ukuthi bathole izindlela zokuthuthukisa izimpilo zabo ngokuthi badle kangcono bazinakekele kahle futhi bathole nezindlela zokuthi bazilolonge. Sike sathi ukuvakashela lapha eJimini Empangeni ukuzwa ukuthi ke bona basiza kanjani ke abantu nomphakathi ngazo zona ke lezi zidingo zabo zokuzilolonga nezokuzinakekela.
My name is Simphiwe Mazibuko, owner of Ejimini Lifestyle and Wellness Center. We provide services like aerobics, cardiovascular training, strength training, circuit training, and free weights training. When people walk in here, it's not about losing weight, but it's about a whole lifestyle change. Simphiwe, Ejimini, Ruth Shoots.
Cool.
This is my home, and this is my husband, Simphiwe Mazibuko, who's also my business partner.
I'm blessed. Yeah, no, we have pay umama, we have pay umama. Ukuthi nje sizwa ijim.
So uma suka lana ngizihamba ngiyolanda umfana wami esikoleni play group, and then sizohamba siye ku Day Spring Animal Farm. I look forward to this time where I pick him up and I spend a little bit of time with him.
uSimphiwe sakhula wayengane waye ambitious, waye flexible, wayethanda ukwenza izinto aphumelele, and futhi wayefunda masinyane.
My mom was a teacher, so you can imagine like ukuzalo teacher, like you had homework at school, and I had my mom's homework, you know, that I had to sort out, but very strict Christian background.
Uyabathanda abantu. Umuntu wabantu lo. Uyabathanda abantu, angamane ajabulisa abantu kunokuthi azijabulise yena. Ubeka umuntu phambili.
Simphiwe is awesome as a friend. She's just like, she's kind of like a superwoman. She does it all. She's got the career, she's got the husband, she's got the beautiful boy at home.
Saqala ibhizinisi ndawonye as friends. And guys, sabona ukuthi yazini man. Iyasebenza lento friendship.
My friend zoned him.
Uthe makaqala enza ibhizinisi, mina I was so excited about it. Wasehambe ya overseas eLondon. Makafike eLondon overseas, whatever she did there, I was always there to support her.
Umuntu sensitive, that's a disadvantage ngayo ukuthi everything yena kufanele ifole to this kind of indlela abona ngayo, yabona happiness. So waphuma out of leyo zone, I believe ukuthi iyasebenza. She'll cry. Even shone umuntu TV story, then she'll cry.
Yes,
that's the kind of a person she is. Maybe namanje usezokhalela ukuthi ngisho njalo ukuthi akakhophi. My mom is too sensitive people.
I'll edit that. The world needs abantu abanjengathi, if we're all like sinenhliziyo eqinile, ngaba kusebenza, so some of us have to be loving and nurturing and sensitive.
Siwekuseni kakhulu ke namhlanje ngofika. Ihora lesihlanu ekseni. Yabona ke usomabhizinisi engizohlangana naye. Ibhizinisi lakhe liqale ekseni kakhulu ngoba phela ke umkhakha lona ke wamajim. Sikhuluma ngokuyivoca. Ake ngene ngaphakathi ngixoxisane naye ngizwe ukuthi yena usenzela kanjani adlela lihlaza uwona lo mkhakha lo. Ethi tawul ayikho insengo kodwa siyabangena.
Mone?
Kunjani sisi?
Ngiyaphila njani sisi?
Ngiyaphila. Hayi ngiyabona la ekhaya ke yabona abantu ngathi bafike early. Sekuseni kakhulu ke kodwa naba abantu bengena.
Ijim ivula ngo5 ekseni and we've got iclass letokuqala ngo 5:15. and it's gonna aerobics lelo. It's gonna run until 6. But then downstairs we've got personal training going on and the rest of imshini.
Yeah. Ngaphambi kokuthi sigene, ngicela ukubuza nje kancane. Ama-members ala ekhaya mangakhi konke mesephelele?
Members are like Kaya, we've got 500 plus because our contract sets are funny. We've got all 12-month contracts, 6-month contracts, and then we've got a short-term contract. So they will change like monthly or weekly. Yeah.
So price yakhona ke na ibanjani?
Okay, angeke ngithi nje wena ukuthi siya uma uzothatha contract ka 12 months like Ejimini per month u350 and then your joining fee, that's your administration and issuing of membership card yakho, that will be 200 rand, and then 6 months will be 400 rand. So kanjalo kanjalo.
Ngicela ungitshela amalento ama-services eno-offera la ekhaya Ejimini. Wangibonile ibhodi lakho la sithi nenza okuningi okuhlukahlukene. Nenza ini la ekhaya?
Okay, njengoba ubona nje leli class lama-aerobics. This is a different class lama-aerobics. This is a box class. So even nama-aerobics ahlukaniswe ngendlela engafani. Kuye kube khona i-step class, kube khona i-box, kube khona i-24, kube khona i-type. So there's so many classes here within i-group training abakhona.
Bakhona-ke phela laba abafundi esibazi ukuthi ibona-ke yabona abantu abarana le mfunda leyo. What made you decide ukuthi wena ufuna ukuyivulela eyakho i-gym ube uDavid egijimisana noGolani?
When I met my business partner, we realized that as a physiotherapist, there was a gap when it comes to rehabilitating abantu and actually improving equality and impilo zabantu. So we thought, no, let's do it for a community and just teach them and educate them on the importance of exercise and keeping healthy. This is where like the functional training part of a gym happens. This is our spinning bikes. Classy happens here. This is obviously our cardio section, which is where warm-ups and obviously cardiovascular training happens as well.
Ngiyabona i-gym into ekuthiwe na i-delicate phela la. Awumena nje uthathe noma ubani from emgwaqweni ukuthi ozosebenza la.
Yes,
ubarecruiter kanjani abantu bakho?
Ngenhlanhla we had abantu that we knew. For instance, Unathi started with us ngawo 2010 and uyena sasihleli naye actually sihlanganisa indaba yokuoda kwemshini. He's got industry knowledge. Usekwasebenzela ama-gym before and wathi mesijoyina nathi samthatha samusa kwi-training wathola i-personal training certificate.
Kwenza ngazela ama-members ama-training programs kwenza ne-circuits le ndawo kuyona second area for abantu especially abaqala ama-beginners naba-members amadala la mhlawumbe uthole kusejim isikhathi eside but manje akabona ama-results.
Into eyenza ukuthi ngidecide ukuze ejimini ukuthi ngifuna ukuba in shape, ngibe fit and I don't want to get old.
Abasebenzi onabo la ekhaya bangaki abantu abasebenzisana nawo la?
We've got a team of 15, of which about 4 or 5 are part-time instructors to job cleaning staff, housekeeping, and then the instructors, and then reception.
All right.
Yeah.
Ukusebenza la ekhaya kuhle. So kuyasebenzeka futhi. So konke nje esikuzela noma ngivuka ekseni ngivuka ngathi ukuthi ngiyosebenza ama-Ejimini. So ngiba happy kusebenzisana nama-client akhona. Ngiba happy nje kukho konke engifike ngithole khona.
Ngiyazi ukuthi during ikhathi lezi recession ikhathi nje izibhizinisi zazingekho mnandi. What kept you going yini ekwenze ukuthi ungadecide ukuthi ngivalwe?
What kept us going is the members. It's the impact and the change ebesiyenza empilweni zabantu. It's ukubuka a client that walks in at the suffering from a stroke. Simbone, putting them through bicycle and treadmills. Simbone umuntu rehabilitateka and be able to function, to be able to be mobile again. So I think more than anything, it was the purpose of why besiyenza this business. Eyenza ukuthi singa give up on it. Yeah.
I'm diabetic, so a diabetic person kuyangisiza ama treatment engawutshela udokotela health wise ukuthi kokunye fanele ngidle kahle ngijime ngithathe treatment. Ama-gym, they are more expensive, so unlike this one then i-affordable, especially kuthina abantu abahola imali phansi.
Ake sithi ulishanje le bhayisikile nani?
Okay.
Sesiyehlisa la?
Yes.
Sesivulele ijubane?
Yebo.
All right.
Okay.
Nakho.
I hear you've got some challenges with the ordering of equipment. You have to go through middlemen. How do you intend to establish those contacts?
Osomabhizinisi bathola izindlela ezahlukahlukene ezokwazi ukusiza abantu ukulwisa ke lokhu okuthiwa ukukhuluphala futhi ke bephinde bebagqugquzele ukuthi bathole izindlela ezikahle zokuthi bazinakekele. Usimphiwe owumphathi ke webhizinisi elibizwa ngokuthiwa iEjimini elilapha Empangeni yena ube nothando lokusebenza kuwona ke lomkhakha lo. Hayi ke ngiyekuthiwe ukuthi ke mangabe wena ufuna ukuba usomabhizinisi ozothuthuka uzodinga ke lokhu ke okudlula uthando kuphela. Ake sizwe ukuthi ke uSimphiwe unamapha amaplani wokuthuthukisa ibhizinisi lakhe.
I'm very excited about today. I'm grateful for the opportunity, for SABC and Making Moves being interested in my story and actually wanting to tell it.
Simphiwe, welcome to Making Moves.
Thank you for having me.
Cool. Take a seat.
Thank you.
So you're going to ask, or rather answer, that age-old Big Nas question. Ijima play weight. Ijima.
Ejimini. Ejimini.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about why you started Ejimini Health and Wellness Center.
It was the passion for all things wellness, for leading an active and healthy lifestyle, and for seeing the gap in Empangeni, being a small town, for a well-equipped facility.
So you've got these 1 month, 3 month, 12-month contracts. Is that a good idea? It's almost like pay as you go at the gym.
Well, the 1 month contract is for you if you decide to come to Empangeni and you've got, work that you're doing for a month there, then that will be suited for you. And obviously for our long-term clients, then we have our 12-month contracts, which are more beneficial, for them as well as for the business as well.
Given the size of the market in Empangeni, how are you planning to grow the business, or are you happy at the 500 odd members that you've got right now?
With the health industry, even, people that are doctors would concur to that. With the health industry, you deal with the person's psyche. So some people will not want to, they're not gym people, they're not the equipment type of people. Some people prefer the outdoors, and I think that's where the gap still is for me, to expand and target, other markets that are around, where I don't necessarily look at the facility as the way of offering the service, maybe looking at going out to their homes and other ways of them to keep active.
Very, very clever. I think that's a very, very smart growth strategy. So you're moving from saying, okay, we're just a gym, to saying we offer a service, we'll come to your home. There's maybe outdoor activities where you can get groups together and you start to expand the service offering. So you're like an insurance company, you collect subscriptions every month. How many subscriptions do you hope to collect where you can finally say to yourself, okay, this business is successful?
2,000 members.
What are some of the biggest challenges right now that might stand in your way if you're going from 550 to 2,000?
2,000. Obviously, right now it would be the growth strategy itself, where how will I cater for the 2,000 people, and actually identifying, I think, their specific needs as opposed to the way that we started as a gym and a facility situated in a specific area. So it will have to be market research so that we try to, create, a product that will be suitable to the other 1.5 that we're trying to target.
Is the business running as optimally as it possibly can?
I think we still need to work on our systems. You know, like most things right now are technologically inclined. So, and that's what appeals to people. So I think there is still like room for improving our systems and our operations so that it's more effective and efficient, you know, for our members. For instance, when it comes to assessments and testing, I know that there's systems in the market where it's done quicker and faster as opposed to the manual way of testing people. So there's still room, you know, and obviously that involves training as well, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I hear you've got some challenges with the ordering of equipment. You have to go through middlemen instead of ordering directly. That's something that could improve your margins?
Definitely.
Okay, how are you intending to get around that?
Well, I'm hoping from today onwards with the mentorship also, is just to, it's about relationships, I think, and contacts. So if I can establish contacts where I can actually go direct with the suppliers, that would be a blessing.
How do you intend to establish those contacts?
Well, from the mentorship session, I'm sure there will be ways where we'll, you know, try to source out and find how we
This is your business. How's the mentor going to tell you?
No, we've tried. We actually have tried, you know, like making contacts, you know, but there's always a blockage. So I think it's maybe trying to break the blockages, because the companies that are here in South Africa are actually middlemen, and I haven't been able to get the information, you know, from the international contacts.
Have you been anywhere else in the world to go see how these businesses operate and how you can take your business to the next level and do something entirely different?
No.
Okay.
No, I haven't been anywhere in the world, but I try to keep up, you know, with reading, you know, and researching with what's happening, you know, in terms of the health and wellness industry. I know there's expos that happen in the US and China as well. So I am looking into maybe making one of those trips and just to go and have a look at how others are doing it.
All right, so I'm going to send you off to a good friend of mine, Mr. Jack Litwaba, who's going to talk you through, you know, a bit of a mentorship session. Okay. Simphiwe is going to join my good friend, Dr. Jack Litwaba from Litwaba Chambers for a coaching session. They're going to come back and give us feedback a little bit later in the show.
The studio interview was challenging, but in a good way. You know, in business, you always welcome this. So it was challenging, and the questions that I was asked, they've given me, you know, like a point to carry on from here on.
He's still working in the business and not on the business. That is a big problem.
Does she have enough of a market?
With the current model, no.
Umqeqeshi wamabhizinisi umuntu obaluleke kakhulu kuyena-ke lo somabhizinisi osafufusa. Phela uphinde ukhumbule ukuthi umqeqeshi unolwazi olunzulu kakhulu. Leli-ke elingasiza yena lo somabhizinisi osafufusa futhi onezidingo namaphupho afuna ukwafeza ngebhizinisi lakhe. Njengamanje ake sibone ukuthi-ke ama-coaching session wethu ahambe kanjani nabo somabhizinisi.
Who are you in this business? Are you still a doctor in this business?
Yes.
Or are you now a managing director in this business? Entrepreneurs seem to work longer in the business than on the business. Absolutely. And I don't want you to be caught up in the trap where you are working in the business instead of working on the business. And if you are, how much time are you spending working in the business versus the time that you are spending working on the business?
You know, I'll be brutally honest with this because it's been the main thing we've always talked about, transforming, but I struggle with letting go. So I can confidently say that in a week, if I were to look at my normal week right now, I'm spending 70% of that time in my business as an actively practicing doctor, and I'm spending 30% on my business.
See, for me, that is dangerous.
Yeah.
Because now you're trending on the space where the business becomes you. Now, for you to attract investors, for you to grow the business, and that the business needs to be a business without you.
Does Dr. Gule's business need healing? She's just spent some time with Lucas. Lucas?
Pepsi.
Is she on the right track?
She is, but there is a little bit of some illness in the business. The famous one, cash flow. So we had a little bit and look at what are the other methods that she can use to get cash flow into the business and that. And one of them was to say to her, she needs, these are clients that are retainer clients. Why is she waiting for 30 days for them to pay? Because she can surely discuss terms with them where they top up the services. I've seen businesses where they pay in to top up for the services that they are gaining because there's an SLA that is signed. This is our services that are recurring in that. So there is no need for her to wait 30 days for that cash flow to come in.
Did you find the session helpful? Do you agree with what Lucas had to say?
Yes, especially because there's avenues that I've never been informed about in terms of terms. I mean, I sign 24-month contracts with some of these companies. So to know that I can actually renegotiate a better position, because some of them do actually say that the fastest they will pay you is 30 days. And you almost feel like an SMME, well, I can't really go further than that. I'm going to have to take what I've been giving. So for me, it's really powerful to know that I can renegotiate new contracts and current contracts to actually get more moolah into the business, because it is our biggest revenue or source of income, better than the individual income, but it does need better payment terms to make the difference on cash flow.
And the issue of spending 70% in the doctor's room?
You know, he's not the first person to raise this as a concern. My current group within the business have been really lobbying me to make a decision. Am I staying an MD as a managing director? Am I staying an MD, a medical doctor? I do think this is the year I have to make the final decision of how to spend my time. The current growth strategy of Medispace needs a managing director.
Okay.
So I think the medical doctor is going to have to take a back seat this year.
Or you can hire a managing director.
I could. I already know the answer to that. That's why I think it's a predestined position, because within the group that was already discussed. And, you know, we've agreed that for the first 3 years, it needs the leader, the founder, to be the leader. And then I have an exit strategy in place. So it inevitably means I don't stop being a doctor either way. I just need to spend a bit more time on the business.
Guys, thank you very much, Lucas. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Dr. Gule, any parting shots?
No, just a really big thank you to this segment, particularly of the show. I think I've got very sobering advice, things that I really did know I need to come to a conclusion on, but I don't profess it's still going to be easy to make a decision. But I'm ready for a transition. The company needs to grow, and I think it's going to be a really good direction over the next 6 months, seeing it grow with and without me.
Let's go and catch up with Simphiwe and find out if she's been jacked up and her business has been looked at by Dr. Jack Ledwaba.
In catching about HIV and diabetes and all that. Business like
Yes, kakhulu. Sibonile kakhulu kuma members ethu.
Yeah.
You know, where umuntu comes in diabetic, a hypertensive as well, and through introduced to exercise, advising ngendlela adla ngayo, akwazi ukuthi improve and reduce even ama doses of medication yakhe. So we've witnessed that kuba kuma members ethu be improve impilo zabo kakhulu.
All right. Ongifuna ukuthi wenze. Go into your rural areas. Make direct statistics. Hire themselves. Abantu abane sugar diabetes bangaki. Know how many houses. Ngoba if embangeni abantu bayahamba. Mhlamba gijimele eGoli ngomningi or so forth. Your business might collapse because you're losing people. So know those statistics. Because you want to grow your business. Yes. So you grow it through attracting people. So you need to know your population is very important.
So Simphiwe has just been lidwabad. Let's find out if Mr. Ledwaba jacked you up and gave you some helpful advice. Jack, I'll start with you.
Yes.
Does she have enough of a market? Is it big enough for her to achieve this 2,000 people target that she's going after?
The simple answer is yes, and even more. It just depends on whether she can actually implement the model that I have a feeling she wants to put out. With the current model, no. But if she changes that model, easy 5,000.
What's the model?
The current model?
No, the model that Dr. Letwaba is alluding to right now.
It's actually like going out to the people and actually using information as my source, information in terms of demographics, in terms of the population, in terms of statistics from the Department of Health and the municipality, and using that information to the advantage of the business.
Okay, and what about the likes of contacting doctors, hospitals, clinics, places where, they're treating people with diabetes, heart disease, all these areas where people could benefit from exercise, maybe as a pipeline, where they could give you references?
Yes, we did speak about that with our campaigns, especially to take them to the local clinics. So when we spoke about demographics and population, we were actually speaking about the clinics and the hospitals and the relationships with the medical staff, making ourselves visible to them, knowing that they can reach us and we are accessible.
Dr. Letwaba, in closing, what are briefly 3 things that Simphiwe needs to go and start doing tomorrow in order to meet her target of a well-run business, a profitable business, catering for 2,000 people in Empangeni and Richards Bay?
The model ka Simphiwe ukuthi she wants to serve abantu. She wants to take the gym to the people. So already they did a research, and I've challenged her to go more, get the cell phone numbers zabantu, even in the rural areas. And the first thing that she can do, number 1, ukuthi I use that database to contact our SMS. There are long queues, guma clinic, nama private doctor, surgery, around Bang and Baning, and you always find them full. She needs to hit that, collect those people, and of course form partnerships with those doctors, talking about the medical doctors. And the medical doctors, they always prescribe go gym to somebody else. One doctor will prescribe more than 15 people health for goodbye gym. Let her be the first person whom the doctor must write on the prescription to say, go gym, I know this place called Ejimini.
Fantastic. Simphiwe has just been jacked up. Thank you very much, guys, for being on Making Moves. Dr. Letwaba, as always, thank you for sharing your time. Yes. Simphiwe, thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you for watching today's episode of Making Moves. We've learned that it's possible to start and run a successful business wherever you are, as long as you understand your market and product offering. Watch again next week as we bring you more stories of women who are changing the world. SABC 1, Mzansi for sure. Goodbye.
Fundile a lot about what to do when it comes to working on my business as much as in the business. Kunezinto that I'm definitely going to take from Making Moves and go and change immediately. Go Medispace.
My overall experience was more than what I expected. The information, the knowledge, the opportunity, it's a blessing on its own,